Hey guys, welcome to your collective reading. So let's see what the Twin Flame Collective is dealing with, what energies the collective is dealing with. Let's see. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. All right. And we have the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So we do have working efforts towards achieving goals. And we're gonna get more into that in a minute. Let's get the clarifiers first before I start tapping into the energy. Okay. Okay, and again the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, so double the effort to work on something. Okay. Right. So, yet again, perhaps not surprisingly at this point, a bit of cough, yeah. Yet again, not surprisingly at this point, we are still dealing with some energy of separation and twin flame separation in some cases, and in other cases I'm gonna say third party separations, in that there are some situations where flames are separating with or from other partners, non-flame partners. Okay, so here I am tapping into a collective which is dealing with this energy of having decided to put something either on hold or it's a breakup. Now I have both energies going on here, and they kind of diverge in the sense that for those of you who are deciding to put your twin flame journey on hold, things of course will go one way. For others who are deciding to put a different relationship on hold, of course that has another meaning, but the energy in itself, the essence of the energy, is still that of putting a connection on hold. And I am clearly seeing third party situations here, non-flame couples, perhaps some which were headed towards a commitment, a higher level commitment, so it could have been engagement or marriage or moving in together, or in couples where that applies, perhaps deciding on a pregnancy in some cases. Either way, whichever that higher level of commitment was, which was in question, which was discussed, which was on the table, clearly I am seeing here the journey being put on hold. Now, there is grief related to this decision, so it's not necessarily that you don't love that person, it's not that you don't care about that person, it's not that you don't want the connection to go where it could, so that's not the case. It's more of a situation where something feels like it has to happen, either because of divine timing or because of outsider sort of circumstances. So this is more like the decision to put something on hold. It's not the feeling of wanting to be apart from someone, okay? And that's important. Because as you internalize this separation, as you internalize this breakup, here we have kind of a relapse in a sense, where the idea of being apart from that person triggers more of a desire, triggers more of an infatuation. And for some of you, there's a powerful conflict related to the idea of reaching out to them. For some of you, if this is your twin flame separation stage, then there is a big yearning for someone to, or for both of you, to reach out, to make contact, to resume contact, to come out of a ghosting or no contact phase. There is that energy, but there is also the energy of being conflicted about it. So this feels to me like a major decision which has been made and someone is trying to follow through on it. It's not necessarily that they feel like separating from this person, but they have set out to do that. They have decided to do that. They are trying their best to follow through on that decision. In some cases, it could be you deciding to step back or to focus on something else than your twin flame connection. This could be your decision to get involved in other things which would call on your absolute focus. Doesn't have to mean relationships. It could mean relationships. For some of you, this could be the decision to step into a commitment with a soulmate, for instance. Someone who is there, someone who is close to you, someone who is supportive of you, someone who is that energy of nurturing and comforting, right? As opposed to a flame which you might not be in contact with, a flame which might have ghosted you or went into a no contact, or a flame who is not coming back, though you might have hoped or wished for that. And this is a sense of mental closure. I'm putting a mental barrier, I am putting a mental closure on a connection which is not fulfilling me in the 3D. And it's not necessarily feeling like it's powering my growth spiritually either, which could be a right or a wrong impression at that point, depending on the situation, right? In some cases, those flames you have to step away from. In some cases, those flames are way too immature spiritually, emotionally, and they simply cannot at this point be your partner. And there's no fault in that, and there's no shame in that, or there's no blame in it. And there's no blame in it, and there's no fault in it for them or for you. You don't have to carry out a life of widowhood, right? Because your flame isn't stepping up to the level of a connection with you. That's perfectly alright, perfectly normal for you to keep going in a different direction. You will be conflicted, you will be unsure, you will be yearning perhaps for that connection, for that passion, for that chemistry. But in some cases, you just have to keep moving in a different direction. And most of the time, that gives your twin the space to grow, the space to develop, to reach out, branch out, and reach out to higher frequencies. And it takes off some of that feeling of pressure, which could be very triggering for your runner twins. And it gives them the space to grow. They are not apart from you, because in energy, of course, you are always connected. But they are apart from you in the 3D. And that eases some of the pressure, which can be very triggering for some. And they manage to grow in that sense. At the same time, you ease some of the pressure off of yourself, because you feel fulfilled, or you feel supported or loved in the 3D, even if it's not at that soul deep level where your flame only can touch you, right? But it is someone who is by your side. It is someone who is willing to build a life together. It is someone who is willing to give a future, a true effort. And they are going to be by your side for as long as divine timing pretty much welcomes it, right? You may be conflicted, you may be sad, you may be broken-hearted in relation to your flame connection, but it has to be deeply ingrained within your soul that you can only do your part of the journey. It's a twin connection, so you cannot take over both of the roles and do the work for both parties. Both of you have to kind of keep going, right? And at some point you're gonna harmonize. But until that time comes, you cannot put your life on hold entirely. You cannot live in solitude, because, and it's not really touched upon that often, but as a twin you are literally born to live in a companionship. You are literally born to live in a team dynamic. That's the nature of your soul. So when your twin isn't prepared to step up to their part of the connection, then your soul is literally going to ache from the solitude. From the solitude because you are not with them, but also from the solitude of everyday life, because you are simply built as a part of a connection. It's simply the nature of your dynamic emotionally. And you're going to need a lot of support and love and protection and encouragement while you're not with your twin. It's simply the nature of your soul, of who you are, and it's the beautiful nature of the community playing a part in your path, and you playing a part in the path of every other twin. Because as a collective, when we come together like that, we ease off some of that yearning, or some of that, in some cases, pain of not being together with your flame, but at least you are together with the flame collective, right? So connective, right? There's a connective need deeply within your soul. And even if you are conflicted at some point, okay, that's perfectly fine. You should embrace and accept and celebrate that. That's the part of you longing for your twin. It's always going to be there, no matter what. But that doesn't mean that you cannot live fulfilled and happy and supported and loved experience outside of that flame connection. It doesn't mean that. It simply means that were this connection with your twin, it would have been entirely fulfilling. It would have been entirely uplifting. It would have been truly transformative. But if it's not, and your twin is not right now prepared to play that part in your life, another connection can be beautiful and fulfilling and loving and caring and supportive, and you should have that in your life, right? So let go of any sort of blame or guilt or a doubt about that, and just move as divinity moves you, right? Follow that path, because at some point every step you take is actually a helping step towards you and your twin coming into divine union. And that can take numerous forms and shapes and stages and levels throughout lives, right? So just go with what spirit brings in your path, pretty much. Go with what feels right to you, okay? See? The open up card for me, and we have a Simply Love on the bottom of the deck. It speaks about the power, and it is a Four of Wands, pretty much. It speaks to me about the power of opening your soul to true love and connection and fulfillment with your flame via experiencing love and connection with other partners. And they may be going through that as well. Now, for those of you who have completed here a different connection, a different type of maybe even marriage for some of you, or higher level commitment with someone else, then this is the level of opening up to the idea of reaching out to your twin, resuming contact or initiating contact. And this is the advice of opening up towards that. So either way we take this, right? This is a point when you should be focused on receiving from the universe, opening up and receiving what comes your way. And it's an emphasis on the fact that whatever comes your way from the universe, when your intuition guides you towards it, when you feel it in your soul that something is coming your way from the universe, then opening up towards it and receiving it and celebrating it is in fact progress on your twin flame journey. It might not feel that way in the moment and specifically in the 3D. You might not see it from your 3D eyes because we are living a 3D experience. But spiritually, opening up is the progress towards your divine union at some point, right? So focus on that. Now, we are going to dive deeper in the extended into the divine feminine and divine masculine energies at play here in the collective, where I hope we're going to see a little bit more clarity about what's going on with each. If you're going to join me there, then that's great. And if not, I'm sending you my highest vibes of unconditional love and support. And we'll be seeing you soon. Okay? Bye!